how to add a user to a second group on Linux with Ansible, I'm going to show you in a live demo with some simple Ansible code. I'm Luca Berton and welcome in today's episode of Ansible Pilot. Today we are talking about Ansible module user. The full name is ansible.builtin.user, which means that is part of a collection of modules built in with Ansible and shipped with it. It's a module pretty stable and out for years, and it manages user account. It supports a huge variety of POSIX systems, Linux distributions, Sun OS, Mac OS, and FreeBSD. For Windows, use the ansible.windows.win_user module instead. Parameters. This module has many parameters. Let me highlight the most useful for our use case. The only required is name, that is the username. The primary group is specified in the group parameter. Every user needs to be part of only one primary group. The groups parameter specify the list of additional groups that the user will be added to. This type of groups sometimes are called also secondary, additional, or supplementary. The parameter append is very important. With a yes option, the user is going to be added to the specified groups. On the other hand, with a no option, the all group membership is going to be overwritten with the specified on groups. So to recap, if you specify no option, you are going to lose all the previous group association. So please be careful. Demo. Let's jump in a real-life Ansible playbook to add a user to a second group in Linux. Are you ready? Let's have fun! Welcome to my editor. I will show you one simple playbook to add secondary group to user. First of all, let's start our play with a name, in my case user module demo, that is going to target hosts all of my inventory. I need become setting to true because I need a root privilege to perform any changes in a Linux machine. Let me define also two variables. First, my user, they usually where I'm taking action of, so example, and my groups. I would like to specify a list of groups, so let me add ADM and sys. So ADM allow to read the system log and sys to add some software or hardware maintenance. On the task list there will be only one adding secondary group. Let me add the S in a parenthesis because we don't know if it's singular or plural. The module we know that is ansible.builtin.user and three parameters. First is name, that will be the value of my user, so you can customize only the variable. And on the groups list, and specify the value of my group's variable, so will be the list that we defined just few seconds before. And I'm going to specify append true, which means that the groups will be added to the currently one. If we want to replace, we can specify append false policy. As you can see, in a few lines we defined the secondary group for the user. Example, in my case ADM and sys, and we can uniform our permission in our fleet. It's very powerful, few lines of code, everybody can read, no complex bash and complicated command. But now let's jump to console to double check the result. Welcome to my console. First of all, let me connect to my demo machine with SSH DevOps user, and demo.example.com is my target machine. Let me become root, so I will have a full privilege to this machine. I can show you my /etc/os-release, that is the latest Red Hat Enterprise Linux released. And now let's start with a fun getEnt passwd pipe grep example to verify that the user example is present in our system and has a UID 1002 and GID group ID 1002. With ID example, we can have a pretty nice overview of what is the primary group example in this case and secondary group example and wheel. You can also list with groups example. You can see that the first field is the username and then a list of all the groups, in my case example and wheels. Another a bit more raw and low-level way is to grep for the username example from /etc/group. As you can see, this user has already two secondary group, example and wheel, and we are going to add ADM and sys. So let me disconnect from this machine. I need to type two-time exit for disconnect from root and disconnect from DevOps user. Here we go. And now get ready for Ansible execution. So ansible-playbook, let me specify also my inventory file, and then the path for my playbook is under users and groups, and here I have, let me complete with tab users, don't remember the name, users_group add secondary.yml. Okay, here we go. Is going very fast execution. You see a change status, which means that some action were performed on my target machine. Let me execute again to verify idempotency. This round it ended up with OK status, which means that the group were already present on the user and no further action were performed. Moreover, let me verify with connecting directly via SSH DevOps at demo.example.com again, and then I need again to become a root, so sudo su, here we go, and let me list again the permission of my example user. ID example, this time there are two more groups, sys and ADM, and also wheel and example as before. Is exactly what we expected. Let me double check also on groups of example. Here we go. We have a 4 group as secondary for user example. getEnt passwd grep example. This time we'll have the same exact result on the primary group that is going to remain example group. Let me also grep, for example, /etc/group. This is a bit low level, but we like. And this time I have 4 results, the same 4 groups that were associated with users example. As you can see, few lines of code in Ansible, very easy to understand from everybody, and I have the expected result. So good job, Ansible. Now you know how to add a user to a second group in Linux with Ansible. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, write a comment, or keep in touch with me. See us on the next lesson and adventure of Ansible Pilot. This video is part of our Ansible automation program. Sign up today on www.ansiblepilot.com for uninterrupted exclusive video and so much fun.